Yesterday, the 38-year-old Messi scored his first ever World Cup hat-trick and tied Miroslav Klose to become the joint greatest goal scorer in tournament history. But to understand this, we have to travel back 20 years ago. Germany, 2006, where the obsession began. An 18-year-old boy with long hair steps onto the pitch against Serbia and Montenegro. Within minutes, he assists, he scores, and the world gasps. He is the chosen one, the undisputed heir to Diego Armando Maradona. But the World Cup is a cruel beast, because at this tournament, he'll be playing against Germany in the quarterfinals. The young prodigy is left trapped on the bench, forced to watch helplessly as his nation is eliminated on penalties. The first taste of international tournament heartbreak. The 18-year-old Messi in 2006, he was one of the greatest young stars that Barcelona has ever discovered. Just look at how talented he was. Whether playing in the World Cup or playing with his club, Barcelona, he was such an amazing talent that had been discovered by the La Masia, the Barcelona's academy. He's not a global icon yet. He's not the GOAT. He's a shy kid from Rosario who barely talks in interviews, who lets his feet speak for him. Argentina's coach, Jose Peckerman, brings him on a substitute. Messi scores, sets up another. The world gets a glimpse, but then he's benched for the biggest game of the tournament, the quarterfinals against Germany. Argentina loses on penalties. Messi watches from the sidelines, 18-year-old, and his first World Cup ends, not on the pitch, but on the bench, helpless. Nobody knows that this image, Messi watching, unable to help, will repeat itself in different forms for over a decade. And by the loss against Germany, the story of the first appearance for Messi ends in the 2006 World Cup. And that brings us to the next World Cup. South Africa, 2010. South Africa, 2010. Diego Maradona is now the coach of Argentina, the greatest of one generation. The player who brought 2 World Cups for Argentina, guiding the man many believe that he will be the greatest of the next. Messi now, he is at his peak club form. Barcelona's brightest star, the Ballon d'Or is his. But something doesn't click. Maradona's team is loaded with talent, but lacking structure. Messi runs, Messi creates, but Messi doesn't score. Quarterfinal, and guess what? Germany, again. This time it's not penalties. It's a total humiliation. 4-0. That's totally humiliating. Maradona is in tears. Messi walks off in silence. The kid who once needed an interpreter for the press now carries the weight of a nation's failure on his shoulders. And he's only 23. Let me get things closer to you. In South Africa's 2010 World Cup, the pressure is suffocating. Under the chaotic, emotional leadership of Maradona as the manager of Argentina, Messi is now the undisputed best player on the planet. The world demands a coronation, and instead, it encounters absolute tragedy. 5 matches, but 0 goals. The tournament ends in a brutal, crushing 4-0 demolition by Germany that leaves Messi sobbing uncontrollably in the dressing room. For the first time, a toxic narrative takes root in Buenos Aires. They claim he cares more about Barcelona than the shirt of his own country and nation. This tragedy at 2010 South Africa, it was like a heartbreaking time for Lionel Messi, even at Barcelona, because in that year they couldn't even go to the Champions League final after their loss to Inter Milan. All of the things that happened in 2010, Messi wishes if he could just erase them from his own mind. By the end of this match, and the end of the humiliating they got by Germany, the 2010 World Cup is over. Which, this one now takes us to the third appearance for Lionel Messi. From the beaches of Rio de Janeiro to the most amazing atmospheres such as the Maracanã Stadium, the 2014 World Cup is in the country, the nation of World Cup and the football itself. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Brazil 2014. This one is supposed to be Messi's tournament. Why? Because it's basically in South America. A familiar heat and a familiar passion. Messi drags Argentina through the group stage almost single-handedly. A wonder goal against Iran, a master-class performance against Nigeria. He is undeniably the best player in the World Cup. Argentina reaches the final this time. And guess where? That's right, in the Maracanã Stadium, 90 minutes away from making history, both for Argentina and for Lionel Messi. The match goes for the extra time. It's Germany again. It's Mario, but this time it's not Super Mario. This is Mario Götze. He scores. The trophy slips away by the narrowest margin possible. Messi's given the golden ball, player of the tournament. He doesn't even smile. He doesn't want an individual prize. He wanted the only one that matters. Back home, the criticism is brutal. He doesn't cry for the badge. He's not Maradona. The doubt isn't just from outsiders anymore. It's a national conversation. Well, if South Africa in 2010 was a disappointment, now in 2014, Brazil is a deep psychological trauma that will haunt him for a decade. Messi carries a heavily flawed Argentinian squad entirely on his back through the knockout stages, dragging them into the grand finale at the historic Maracanã. But the nightmare unfolds in slow motion. Just to be honest, Gonzalo Higuain, he missed a breakaway of goals. Messi's only clinical shot running just millimeters wide of the far post, and finally, the crushing blow in the 130th minute from Mario Götze. I mean, just watch his face. Just watch Messi's face as he walked past the golden trophy. He simply accepted a meaningless individual award. He cannot even look at it. Messi's dream is dead, and the trauma is written in his eyes. Well, Russia. The rock bottom. It's 2018, but this is by far the lowest point. This is Messi's fourth appearance in the World Cup. Argentina, they arriving disorganized, divided, directionless. And guess what? Messi misses a penalty against Iceland. The team draws. The team loses to Croatia 3-0. In a result that it was a disaster. Argentina, is it even belong to the World Cup anymore? That was what the press was talking about. That was what the commentators were talking about. Is Argentina even belonging to the World Cup anymore? They scrap into the round of 16. France. France ends the dream. Kylian Mbappé, a 19 years old, announces himself to the world. The torch, it seems, is passing. Messi is 31 years old. 3 World Cups, 0 trophies, whispers begin. Maybe we'll never win it. Maybe some players are just destined to be remembered as the best to never win the World Cup. He doesn't retire, but for the first time, even his biggest believers start to wonder. The relationship is completely broken. And if you know, Messi had actually retired from the national team before being begged to return. Argentina arrived in a total internal collapse, as we said. A humiliating 3-0 loss to Croatia leaves them exposed. There is a brief magical flash of genius against Nigeria, but the round of 16 against Kylian Mbappé and the France, it basically tears the team apart. Messi stands completely stranded in the center circle, hands on his lips, watching a younger, faster generation leave him behind. He's 31, Mbappé is just 19. The media declares his international legacy is dead. The world accepts a tragic truth. The greatest to ever live will never win the ultimate prize. After this psychological trauma, the 2018 World Cup ends for Argentina, and France, they are the World Cup heroes. Well, France has a very big generation, but here comes the turning point for Messi and Argentina. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the 2022 World Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand finale, the redemption. This is Qatar 2022. Messi is 35. This is his final World Cup? Yeah, almost certainly. You know what they say? They say that football always owes the greats a final dance. But this time, Argentina's road to World Cup in Qatar, it starts with a disaster. Argentina's opening match, they played against Saudi Arabia, ranked 51st in the world. And guess what? They have beaten Argentina 2-1, one of the greatest upsets in the World Cup history. This is supposed to be the end of the story. Instead, it became the beginning of the greatest run of his career. Argentina doesn't lose again. Mexico, Poland, Australia, and the round of 16. They all been conquered by Messi. Then they are playing against the Dutch, the Netherlands. It wasn't just a football match, it was like a war. It was a game in a chaotic penalty shoutout that Argentina has beaten the Dutch. After that, they have played Croatia. Oh yes, the Croatia. Remember in 2018 World Cup? They have humiliated Argentina. But now, it's time for revenge. Croatia, where Messi tortures his opponent with a piece of skill so humiliating it becomes a meme within minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the final. The final that not only Messi will never forget the date, even the millions of people who love Messi. It's December 2022. Argentina looking for the revenge from the 2018 World Cup when they're facing France. Messi versus Mbappé. What follows in the single, most cinematic redemption arc in the history of human sports, it's no longer the quiet prodigy. Messi transforms into a fierce, battled, hardened warrior. The final against France is an absolute war. Messi scores twice. Mbappé scores a hat-trick. A miraculous last-second leg saved by Emiliano Martinez saves the continent. Yeah, the entire continent of South America. When the final penalty hits the back of the net, Messi drops to his knees. The crushing psychological weight of 2006, 2010, 2014, and 2018 vanishes in a single heartbeat. Ladies and gentlemen, Lionel Messi has conquered the universe. The story is complete. The book is closed. Gonzalo Montiel scores the winner, and Lionel Messi, 18 years after that quiet debut, after Germany twice, after Brazil's heartbreak, after Russia's humiliation, he finally lifts the World Cup. The image of him being carried through the crowd, draped in an Arabic bisht, with a trophy in hand, becomes one of the most iconic images in the history of the sport. He cries, the whole nation cries. 20 years of doubt gone in one moment. And now, 2026, North America, the defense of the crown. Before the tournament even begins, there is already a moment of pure emotion. September 25, Messi's final World Cup qualifier on home soil in Buenos Aires. 80,000 fans inside the Monumental. He scores twice. The crowd doesn't stop singing his name. His sons watch him from the stands. Now the tournament itself, June 16, 2026, Kansas City, Argentina's opening match against Algeria. This is the moment we opened with Messi's 38-year-old scores not once, not twice, but 3 times. His first career World Cup hat-trick, 3-0 win. His 20th appearance for Argentina, and those 3 goals push him all-time World Cup tally to 16, tying Germany's Miroslav Klose for the most in the history of the men's game. The crowd gives him an standing ovation where he subbed off in his 76th minute. Game already won, and the legacy already secured. 6 World Cups, more than almost anyone he has ever played the sport from. A silent 18-year-old, benched in 2006 to the most decorated, most complete World Cup story football. has ever seen. And finally, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe and like, and tell me your ideas in the comments what story you want to hear next.